What's to stop you, though, from saying, I want certainty, I want the country to know what is going on, so in 3 years and 2 months, the country will go to the polls for general election. What's to stop you from doing that?
To announce an election date so long.
That's what fixed election date is. So if you believe
No.
why not do it?
You're asking me to do things outside of a structure. So yes, I believe in these things, but I also believe in structure, order. I have not worked out all the other events that could affect an election. Let us come with a policy. Let us get everybody to understand the policy. Let us get all the other dates in perspective that might be critical, and then we fix the date institutionally.
We will face an election before school ends. It would be or just about when school ends in June. Good. Why?
On that point, I hear it often said that the elections are due by September. That is not constitutionally correct.
The truth is that we are already preparing legislation for fixed election dates.
What the Constitution provides for is an outer life for the date of Parliament, and that is 5 years, and the life of the Parliament commences on the first sitting of the Parliament after general elections.
Now welcome back to another Exclusive for Live. Now blessing goes out to all my viewers and all my subbies, all my well wishers. Like, share and also subscribe if you haven't done so already. Coming up in today's topic and review.
On the 14th of April 2016, Your Excellencies, the Governor-General of Jamaica, the Most Honourable Sir Patrick Allen, delivered a truly inspiring and motivational throne speech at the Ceremonial Opening of Parliament. His words resonated with all those in attendance, as well as with the citizens of Jamaica who were watching from afar. He has shown time and time again that he is committed to serving the people of Jamaica with integrity, passion, and a genuine desire to see the country thrive. In his speech, Sir Patrick Allen spoke of the challenges facing Jamaica, emphasized the importance of new legislations being brought forward to significantly brings reform to the justice system. The Governor-General's words were not only inspiring, but they were also a call to action. The government intends to pass legislation for fixed election dates, war terms limits for the post of Prime Minister, and impeachment of corrupt politicians this year's 2016. However, none of these legislative measures mentioned in the Governor-General's throne speech we are yet to see implemented in the legislation constitution, considering we're in 2025. Governor-General's throne speech was a message of hope, of encouragement, and a reminder all Jamaicans can have confidence in the newly appointed Prime Minister, the Most Honourable Number 28. Andrew Holness, merely sworn in as Jamaica Prime Minister on 25 of February 2016, potentially to one the great nation.
The truth is that we are already preparing legislation for fixed election dates. I don't want to give you a commitment here because I don't know exactly where it is in the process, but I would say that if the process finishes before the end of the year, we would want to take that bill as quickly as possible.
Now my viewers and my subscribers, let all quick reasoning. Now, this is the Governor-General Sir Patrick Allen. Back in 2016, merely 2 months after the Prime Minister was sworn in for the first time as Prime Minister of Jamaica, he made this bold announcement and he emphasized on the fact that Jamaican constitution legislation need changes. Some of these changes, I quote, fix election dates, term limits for the post of Prime Minister, and impeachment of corrupt politicians. He also said there is major plan on its way for these changes to be implemented. Now when we consider we are in what? 2025. 2025. From 2016, he made that speech and that announcement. This was also in support of the Prime Minister, cause at the time the Prime Minister had just won his first term as Prime Minister of Jamaica, and that was one of his campaign policies, where he says once he get into government he would set fixed election date. Now, if any individual want to dispute what I'm saying in this video right here, you're wicked to yourself, because everything I'm presenting in this broadcast right here is there on the internet. All you have to do is just put in a little typing and everything will come up and you can see for yourself. Now we're gonna go back to 2016, from when number 28 was first being elected as Prime Minister. Not when he was Prime Minister, but before he became Prime Minister. Now, this was one of his main campaign plans. As me say, this is from 2016, as you can see on the screen. It said, vote 2016. Holness announced bold first 100 days plan. That was his plan. That was one of his main campaign plans. While the opposition leader eyes fixed election date, term limits for PM, and referendum on CCJ, the Caribbean Court of Justice. That was the PNP campaign plans. Okay? And to further show you, the article say, opposition leader Andrew Holness, them time here, the man don't even get into power yet. That may I show you. It says, should the Jamaica Labour Party emerge victorious in the upcoming general election, opposition leader Andrew Holness, it sounds so strange for you to say opposition leader Andrew Holness, ain't it? Well, trust me, that's gonna be in and out regular coming shortly. It says, opposition leader Andrew Holness intend to make a number of legislative changes to include terms limit for Prime Minister and fixed date for general elections, among other things.
On that point, I hear it often said that the elections are due by September. That is not constitutionally correct.
And here we are in 2025, and number 28 still hasn't done nothing. Now, before me even go further into this broadcast, now number 28 we haven't seen nothing from number 28 pertaining to none of those election campaign plans. This is from 2016, and him still can't fulfill it yet. Yeah. However, as we still in 2016, I want you to check out this clip with Dion Jackson Miller interviewing the opposition leader Andrew Holness, and he was asked a question about this fixed election date.
What's to stop you, though, from saying, I want certainty, I want the country to know what is going on, so in 3 years and 2 months, the country will go to the polls for general election? What's to stop you from doing that?
To announce an election date so long.
That's what fixed election date is. So if you believe
No.
why not do it?
You're asking me to do things outside of a structure. So yes, I believe in these things.
Yeah.
But I also believe in structure.
This is all you know, sir. Andrew Holness is not an intelligent man, because if him say, yes, I believe in order and structure, which one of them is more order and structure? Having a fixed election date more than not having a fixed election date, where now we're having this confusion. Which one of them is more structure and is in order? He's a dunce. Cause clearly him don't know the meaning of something being in order and well structured.
You need to do things outside of a structure. So yes, I believe in these things.
Yeah.
But I also believe in structure, order. I have not worked out all the other events that could affect an election. Let us come with a policy. Let us get everybody to understand the policy. Let us get all the other dates in perspective that might be critical, and then we fix the date institutionally.
Every day carrying
despicable individual. You are the best to pussy clot. Lie, lie, lie. Cause the lie what you tell is that I believe in the fixed election date, but me have to wait upon this. So you tell me say 28. All now. How much years that, brother? So much years people are gonna wait for see your prosperity, cause this is what you do, you know. And me assure the people them you for who you are, you know. Because a lot of people, they don't, it's like they can't see these knowledge what I'm putting out. But the Almighty inspire me. If you can see your corruption clearly, like there, it's so obvious, it's not hiding, it's like it's just blatant. And you people keep running behind this man. You all are wicked to yourself, bruv. Now, Dean Jackson Miller interviewing number 28 Andrew Holness. And as me asked the question in a previous broadcast, why is it, Miss Dean Jackson, me can't say you are interview number 28 no more and ask him some serious question pertaining to everything what's going on in the country? Cause I know you see it, cause you're asking other members who go on your show, but for some reason happen and so the number 28 feel like him too big for your show, Miss Jackson. Him too, your show a baby show for him now. Him bigger than you now. Him can't come on your show. How will you do him? What? I'm afraid to ask him about when did I do in a COVID time with the 28 bank account while him have with a lockdown?
The truth is that we are already preparing legislation for fixed election dates.
And the Governor General at the opening ceremony of Parliament mentioned the same thing, that these changes to the Constitution would be implemented. Listen to the Prime Minister words.
The truth is that we are already preparing legislation for fixed election dates. I don't want to give you a commitment here because I don't know exactly where it is in the process, but I would say that if the process finishes before the end of the year, we would want to take that bill as quickly as possible.
Because the words of a man, once you say it, you know, you cannot take it back. Now that was the word of our honorable Prime Minister. But look, we here now in 2025, where is the year of the general election, and we have this lady Malahoo Forte they are what you want name, coming out saying that none of these constitutional changes that should be implemented are not implemented. She telling us something totally different, which I think she is implementing within the Constitution as they go along to suit their political agenda. Now listen to what she's saying, because this is about to get very interested. Because if Miss Forte or Malahoo Forte or what she want name think that she gonna come with a little soft voice and a little devilish ways and fool the nation, you better think again.
On that point, I hear it often said that the elections are due by September. That is not constitutionally correct. Not when the general elections are held, because we know that the electoral laws require formalities to be complied with about counting, and sometimes space has to be given for recounts, judicial recounts. So it's important for all Jamaicans to understand that the life of the Parliament is not fixed, because we do not have fixed date elections.
So Miss Forte, why doesn't we have fixed election? Are you saying that the Prime Minister lied to the nation and the Governor General lied to the nation? Did you know this is a criminal offense? Because the Governor General, you know, represent the King of UK, you know. And if the Governor General wish are there for implement law, and he said in his manifesto in 2016 that these plans are in place. And I shall rephrase to number 28 Andrew Holness' speech as well, which says these are in plan.
The truth is that we are already preparing legislation for fixed election dates.
So how comes now you are say we don't have no fixed election?
So it's important for all Jamaicans to understand that the life of the Parliament is not fixed because we do not have fixed date elections.
What is this? You need to explain. What you mean?
But the outer life of the Parliament is 5 years. And if elections are not called sooner, the Parliament automatically dissolves on the 5th anniversary after its first sitting. And then
Oh my viewers and subscribers, may I have laugh. Cause this woman, you can't see this woman come like say she guess what she said to it. You know what this remind me of? Miss Fronte, a long time and a old girl, you know. You remind me of a woman who go out, go cheat on her man and come back in and she get and spell which story if you tell her man. Papa Jesus, how are this?
And if elections are not called sooner, the Parliament automatically dissolves on the 5th anniversary after its first sitting. And then the Constitution also provides for the holding of elections within 3 months of the Parliament being dissolved. And that is set out at section 6T4 of the Constitution.
You know, Miss Fronte, may I wonder when that Constitution you running through right now was written? Or may I wonder if you write that Constitution, because I know, say, as I said, in 2016, the Governor General said they're gonna be fixed term election. So when did that Constitution was written? Because we also, as you can see, in 2017, number 28 said they're gonna be fixed term election.
Prime Minister Andrew Holness has said his administration is preparing legislation to have fixed election dates. He said drafting instructions have been given to the Chief Parliamentary Counsel. The issue has again arisen following concerns raised by opposition leader Dr. Peter Phillips on Sunday about the delay in the 3 by-election dates. Dr. Phillips said there should be a fixed date for the elections to prevent the declaration of the date being used as a political tool.
The truth is that we are already preparing legislation for fixed election dates.
So number 28, so what are we doing here then? Didn't Peter Phillips said it back in 2016 that we need to have a fixed election date because we don't want no of the party use this as a political tool. And here in 2025, what are we seeing? You're using this thing as a political tool. You are so predictable.
I want to give you a commitment here because I don't know exactly where it is in the process, but I would say that if the process finishes before the end of the year, we would want to take that bill as quickly as possible.
So we really need to know when this Constitution you're reading from was written, because clearly it's the wrong Constitution you're reading from. And secondly, we really want to know why you even mentioned this in the first place, because as far as my calculation, number 28 last term him win was September 2020, which means he's been in power for 5 years now, and as you say, 5 years, if him not call the election, Parliament go in dissolve.
Parliament is 5 years. And if elections are not called sooner, the Parliament automatically dissolves.
That means, say, we not care about no other bureaucracy we come talk about, say, it not count until the sitting of the House of Parliament and whatever extra time you try for add on.
And if elections are not called sooner, the Parliament automatically dissolves on the 5th anniversary after its first sitting. And then the Constitution also provides for the holding of elections within 3 months, within 3 months, within 3 months, within 3 months of the Parliament being dissolved.
So viewers and subscribers, so this is the reason why she did the broadcast. She had tried into us that number 28 will not be calling the general election until probably around December. Because as she said, if after the 5-year period, which gonna be in September the 15th, because as you can say, he swear in 2020 in September the 7th. However, September 2025 would have make it 5 years, but she say if the government doesn't call the election, then the Governor General are going to dissolve the Parliament. And then after that, that gives them
within 3 months, within 3 months, within 3 months, within 3 months.
Another 3 more months before the Constitution have to call the election. That means we're looking into 2026 with this plan. What she trying to into us? Me say them people are the easy, the Papa Jesus. Number 28. You're full of chicken up. Hey, yeah.
The Constitution also provides for the holding of elections within 3 months of the Parliament being dissolved. And that is set out at section 6T4 of the Constitution.
Him better call it in a June. Call it before September. You understand? But this way you come with not gonna work. Cause 5 years coming September. So don't bother try. Come with this like so now go call the election September, and me go remind you a little bit about the election. Remember, it was in the heart of a pandemic.
We went into an election with the backdrop of a pandemic. And you will notice that I'm speaking to you while still wearing my mask as a symbol that we are still under serious threat of the pandemic.
And him still call the election, knowing so we're under serious threat from the pandemic, until we say him care for it.
Serious threat of the pandemic.
And me go show you the wickedness of this man. On the election day, you had people getting unalive at polling station.
There were some unfortunate events today, which one of them I will acknowledge is the sudden death of a voter at the polls. I extend my sympathies to her family. But as I close, I give the assurance that with this large margin, this solid mandate, that we will be responsible. We will be responsible with the power that you have given to us.
Okay, 28. Let's look at how responsible you have been. From 2020, Usain Bolt money get missing. Yeah, that's being irresponsible. Why? Because you still haven't addressed the nation about the SNL situation. You are just scared to address it. You was part of the integrity commissioner when it was being formed, and within that time, 2020, after we give you the power and tell you to be responsible, we see where the integrity commissioner of Jamaica have so much discrepancy with you clearing your statutory declaration, that you being so responsible. The responsible thing for you to do is to take the integrity commissioner to court. To do what? To change the law on impeaching politicians. That's how much responsible you have been, number 28. Yeah? Those are just two of my major concern with you. And there are so much more that I can mention. So much more. I guess give you the powers, yeah? And you say you wanna take advantage of us, yeah? No. Me go show you the hypocrisy with you. You give you and your politician friend them 300% increase, number 28. 300% increase, number 28. And then the hurtful part about it, you turn on and tell the nation, say, you don't need the money. You're not taking it. So why take that from us if you care for us so much? And you're just caring for your people then, brother. If you don't need the money, why do you think it's necessary to give yourself that much increase? And ask yourself, does these politicians, honorable number 28, where you take our hard-earned money and pay them big wages, do they really, really, really deserve it? And then, since the start of the year, yeah, how much individual have been unalive? And where is the responsibility? Why all this discrepancy? Because you didn't do the responsible thing of securing the nation by giving your police killer them body cam. So we can see exactly what happened. You continue to say, send them home to the maker. That's not being responsible. A leader that being responsible would do as Indicom said. How much persons? Over 150 person. So far within 3 or 4 months since the year start. Indicom affair investigate. And Indicom calling on the government to equip the police them with body cam. That's what being responsible is. Not having the police commissioner coming out and say, "Una spend too much money for now get no result." And they just continue the slaughtering of innocent youth because our officer is innocent, because we know that these police are corrupt, and you know that too, number 28. And if you deny that to yourself, you just need to step down today because you're living in a delusion. This is the real world where mother, father, son, daughter, I cry for them loved ones constantly, and it's all questionable, and all you can say is send them home to the maker. Oh, where the responsibility there? And that will give you the pass for. You are a wicked man. Are you sick in your head? No, that's all the Prime Minister number 28 can say now. There was some whole heap of unfortunate situation today, but he will acknowledge only one. And this lady dropped down at the polling station and lose her life. And the only thing him say about it is that he extend his condolences to the family and he move on. Watch it. To business as usual.
There were some unfortunate events today. Which one of them I will acknowledge is the sudden death of a voter at the polls. I extend my sympathies to her family. But as I close, I give the assurance that with this large margin,
now, number 28, that large margin, that landslide victory is simply because loads of person was too scared to come out and vote. That of number one, yeah. Number two, it's like a Labour right alone did vote in the election. So you with this large mandate of Labour right, you know what I mean, is nothing like special. You should feel ashamed of yourself. And in a COVID you do this, where people are dropped down and dead. People scared for come out of them yard for come vote. This election, you never really win this election. These are the hypocrisy and the wicked things them what you do just to suit yourself.
This solid mandate that we will be responsible. We will be responsible with the power that you have given to us. By and large, I think most Jamaicans tried to abide by the protocols. I want to give the assurance to Jamaicans tonight that your government will continue its effective management of the COVID pandemic. to keep you safe and to protect your livelihoods. No doubt we are entering into a new phase of the pandemic, an inevitable phase of the pandemic.
Now I wonder if number 28 takes any account for the loss of them life that what happened during the general election, anytime him call it in the heart of the pandemic. Cause you could hear me say, after that the pandemic gets worse and him a go do what him can to keep the people them safe. Maybe you should have thought about that before you pull the people them out of them house for suit your political needs.
And that will require a new strategy of management. But whatever we do, you can rest assured that we will keep you safe, we will keep our frontline workers safe, we will make the necessary allocations in our budget so that you can be cushioned and cope with the economic fallout that accompanies the pandemic.
Uno go back in a cage, go back in a lockdown and pay uno big money to him because uno work for him, uno basically him slave.
So we are very cautious in our approach to receiving this overwhelming majority. It must never be that the government that emerges from this victory takes on any characteristics of arrogance.
Now 28, them have a saying say, if the fish did keep him mouth shut, him wouldn't get hooked. Now you say, we give you all this power because this big mandate means a lot to you and you get all this power because majority of people vote for you in the election and you say, you wouldn't take it and use no arrogance. Alright, let's look at your arrogancy.
You will either meet a judge or your maker. Argument done. Do you know what you're asking? Are you crazy? Really? Do you know what you're asking?
No. The Prime Minister is going around the island.
Now this is the icing on the cake of this man arrogancy. One of the biggest deception to a nation I've ever seen. And him use the Almighty for do it. This him tell the lady say, I met the lady come out of her yard, come a polling station and drop down at the polling station. Because him tell the lady this lie. This deception. Serpent. Listen to this. Muta Baruka. Take it away.
No. The Prime Minister is going around the island to push that everybody should be vaccinated. It's like a campaign. I mean, I have no problem with it. You and me have a problem with now. Because this man is supposed to be an intelligent man where he really assures say, boy, I'm really gone up, I'm wacky. When I say wacky, I mean really wacky. Now, I'm talk to a woman, obviously, is a poor woman, and you know, say, church people, she try convert him to Jesus Christ, say, even though I'm a prime minister, I must, you know, get down off him pumps and pride and come down to Jesus Christ. Hear him tell the woman, say, no, this is really serious, you know. Him tell the woman, say, first of all, the vaccinated, she hears that some people that say about the vaccination. Him say, the vaccine, listen to me carefully. The Prime Minister said the vaccine is natural because it was made by God.
What can go so?
Help. We see out of the ladder.
We need your divine intervention. We're tired of the labor rights. We're tired of the green people. We are so far. We can't take it no more. We need this. We need it. Help. Help. Jesus Christ of Nazareth. Psalm 46. God is our refuge and strength. Is a liberator drum here.
This raises some serious questions in which the government must come forth and address these growing concerns into this corruption.
Me now misquote him verbatim. Him say the vaccine is natural because it was created by God. Now, take a sack. What is natural? Natural is something that not man-made. Not man-made. The vaccine is not man-made. Is the Prime Minister trying to tell Jamaican people right now that the vaccine is not man-made, but it was made by God? Because that is what him tell the woman. The vaccine was made by God. No, Mr. Prime Minister, really and truly, you get wacky. You get wacky rasta. From you start to push that line then up on people. Say the vaccine is a natural thing. I mean, what's a natural to me? The whole of we take things that is unnatural all the while.
Are you crazy? Really? Do you know what you're asking? Are you crazy? Really?
This government and then get charged $200,000 for mask. $200,000 for mask, and I'm a 17-year-old, me having birth paper right there, so. And that no fear.
You know what you're asking?
$200,000 for mask.
Really?
And that no fear.
Are you crazy?
17-year-old.
Really?
What kind of heart this government have?
Argument done.
And then get charged $200,000 for mask. 17-year-old. What kind of heart this government have?
Of inhumility. It must never be that the government that emerges from this victory takes the people for granted in any way.
And then get charged $200,000 for mask. $200,000 for mask, and I'm a 17-year-old, me having birth paper right there, so.
A few moments later.
Now 28, after you just swore in, draw the people them out to come vote in an election. People all get unalive a vote, yeah? You are charged a 17-year-old over £1,000, cause 200,000 them time there is over £1,000 for just not wearing a mask. And if you look up on the screen, that was the Labourite them, MP, Mr. Green and the whole of them a celebrate a drink champagne. I remember, you just tell the people them say, you're not gonna take them for granted. And you charge a human being over £1,000 for mask. If that's not taking that lady for granted, that lady is stupid for saying that it's unfair what you did to a 17-year-old son. It's also unfair for individual can see that they are being charged thousands of dollars while the politician that should be upholding the law are breaking it. And you say you are stand against corruption, and up until today you still never take no actions against any of them person they were in at the party there in a COVID time. We remember they were shouting show. We no wear mask. I remember, everybody remember, me a drag on the memory. So you is just loud bark with no bite. Number 28. What kind of heart this man have? Because the pandemic was all over Jamaica and him never care about calling a general election in the heart of a pandemic. What kind of heart this man have?
We will be responsible with the power that you have given to us.
No love, no empathy from this man. I thought those are the good qualities a person should look for within a person.
I raise this in my acceptance, and I don't call this a victory speech, because
you could never call that a victory speech or a victory, because a Labourite alone vote. People were scared to come out and vote. Did you care? You call election to suit yourself. A Labourite come out and vote. And now, in time you see the people them out and ready for vote, you don't want to call the election. You send Malahoo Forte a Western name with our arms out upon the nation. We're tired of these people in the number 28.
With such a large mandate, it brings a whole new dynamic as to how we manage government. In our last government, the narrative of corruption dogged us. The narrative of corruption dogged us. And it is not something that we can hide away from. And it is not something that we can hide away from. And it is not something that we can hide away from. And it is not something that we can hide away from. And I want to be clear, because there are many persons who will now be assuming state authority, who may not have the understanding as to how that authority should be used. They will know clearly that this government does not stand for corruption.
Is Jamaica aware that SSL directors transfer SSL to another company as a gift to the Vazes? Minister Nigel Clark has publicly stated, Stocks and Securities Limited would not, let me repeat, SSL would not be permitted to transfer any assets during the ongoing Financial Services Commission FSC investigation into alleged fraud of legendary Usain Bolt's $12 million suddenly missing. This was done to ensure that potential evidence is preserved and the investigation can proceed without interference. But here, I now see where SSL transferred to the Vazes as a gift. What can go?
We will continue our good policies. We will keep Jamaica on the path to prosperity.
And to be honest with you, lot people, I found them time there. Me say, my heart turned from this Prime Minister. Cause I see he's a heartless man. Because you lock down the people them. But for please yourself, you call a general election. Where was a handful of people come out and vote. Because many people was too scared to come out and vote.
So even though we have this overwhelming majority and the people have given us the mandate that we require, we are still considerate of those Jamaicans who still look on with some suspicion, some concern, some apathy on the political process.
But yet still you still felt it was necessary for call a general election and having people dropping down and getting unalive at polling station. Mighty God of Daniel, number 28. You have a heart, boy.
There is indeed cause for celebration, but there is also, I would believe, significant cause for consideration. There are many Jamaicans who did not participate. There are many Jamaicans who, for fear of the virus, decided not to come to the polls. But there are also many Jamaicans who, for other reasons, apathy, frustration with the process, decided not to participate.
And listen to him attack. You hear him attack? No, what have Miss Fronte I try say that. I don't know what she trying to imply. Cause I don't know why she mentioned this, because it's time and general election not going past September the 15th. If anything, it have to be before. As this man say, I feel it's gonna be in June. So no prepare on yourself.
Former PNP government minister John Jr. says his prediction is based on the recent visit by U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio and his clarification regarding the Cuban medical program.
We will face an election before school ends. It would be or just about when school ends in June. Good. Why? I see the U.S. Secretary of State has come and they've made a big thing about his support for some of the things that we were afraid of, most of which were negotiated in any event with the Caribbean leadership in CARICOM.
Mr. Jr., former Minister of Health, declared that if the U.S. had decided not to grant U.S. visas to those involved in the program, he would have been on that list. He says he is unapologetic about his role in negotiating the program during his tenure. Meanwhile, Mr. Jr. believes the impending CARICOM Heads of Government meeting in July, which will see Jamaica taking over the chairmanship, is also a factor in when the general elections will be held.
He is hoping that he will win, right? Because it is Jamaica's time for chairmanship. So that tells me that we are between now and then at risk.
Section 64(1) says that the Governor General may at any time, by proclamation published in the Gazette, prorogue or dissolve Parliament. Subsection 2 provides that subject to the provisions of subsection 3 of this section, Parliament, unless sooner dissolved, shall continue for 5 years from the date of its first sitting after any dissolution, and shall then stand dissolved. Subsection 3. At any time when Jamaica is at war, Parliament may from time to time extend the period of 5 years specified in subsection 2 of this section for not more than 12 months at a time, provided that the life of Parliament shall not be extended under this subsection for more than 2 years. It says, subsection 4 says, if between a dissolution of Parliament and the next ensuing general election of members of the House of Representatives, an emergency arises of such a nature that in the opinion of the Prime Minister it is necessary for the two houses or either of them to be summoned before that a general election can be held, the Governor General may, by proclamation published in the Gazette, summon the two houses of the preceding Parliament, and that Parliament shall thereupon be deemed, except for the purposes of section 65, not to have been dissolved, but shall be deemed, except, as said, to be dissolved on the date on which the polls are held in the next ensuing elections. And it indicates that in the exercise of his powers under this section, the Governor General shall act in accordance with the advice to the Prime Minister, provided that if the House of Representatives, by a resolution which has received the affirmative vote of a majority of all the members thereof, has resolved that it has no confidence in the government, the Governor General shall, by proclamation published in the Gazette, dissolve Parliament. So it provides for the dissolution of Parliament where there is a no confidence vote. And elections have to be held within 3 months after the Parliament is dissolved. All right, so that's the specific learning for members of the public today about the holding of elections. And I hope that members of the media who repeatedly report that elections are due by a particular time would take note of the provisions. Of course, we know that the elections may be called at any time. Of course, we know that the elections may be called at any time. Of course, we know that the elections may be called at any time. Of course, we know that the elections may be called at any time.
You know, me have to laugh. I don't know why number 28 don't give me a break, you know. I'm trying to not speak on this man, you know, cause this man, you know, put a very bad taste in my mouth every time me have to talk, man. No, I don't know what this lady doing, you know. Me I wonder, you saw how she just lie and smooth with her lie, and every time she lie, she smile. Cause we can see that she making
up all these rules as she go along in the Constitution, because clearly she's trying to say to us that number 28 is a liar. Listen to this, cause if all of this has been written in the Constitution, why did number 28 said this then about fixed election date? And it does show you how much this man lie. Cause me telling you, people, you see, a person will tell a lie, them forget them lie easier than if them telling the truth. Now, this woman named Malahoo Forte, where she want name, it's so she smooth. Me wonder if time she a goggle balls, if I said way so she act gentle with the balls them. Me wonder if she get nasty and freaky. Cause so she act like so she so decent and anything look at what she doing is so horrible and so disgusting. Cause she make up the Constitution as she go along for suit she number 28. Number 28 said, so why did number 28, if he know that the Constitution said that, why did he said he's gonna change or him wait upon the law? And it's in process of setting fixed election date. These things are just disrespectful. Me tell you, say, you see them people, them are the type of people, who just piss people off, You understand? Cause I'm so pissed off with this woman. Look at her, act like such a decent. Sure.
In terms of the proposals made for legislation for a fixed term or a fixed period of time when a by-election is called, I have no difficulty with that. The truth is that we are already preparing legislation for fixed election dates. I don't want to give you a commitment here because I don't know exactly where it is in the process, but I would say that if the process finishes before the end of the year, we would want to take that bill as quickly as possible.
I say my viewers and my subscribers, this is my number 28, it's very easy, I say number 28, I do everything for my time, I say everything for my time. From not calling this general election. Now you hear Miss Malahoo Forte, I talk about say if Jamaica in a war, where we ever hear of Jamaica in a war for stop election more than internal war? What? Andrew Holness, number honorable 28, without any shadow of a doubt, would do in Jamaica to save himself time from not calling this general election. But what he don't understand, the longer him take for call it, is the more the people them are gonna be frustrated with him. And all the wickedness and the atrocity him keep on doing is just gonna add up more to your prison sentence. Cause we're sending you to prison, We're sending you to prison. You're gonna be the first Prime Minister. I keep telling you, you don't understand. You're gonna know how prison feel. Yeah? You're too wicked and thief and lie. And now you aim for kill off the people in Jamaica if you don't get your way. But remember, brother. Remember, I don't tell you already. You don't know which one of them police officer there, Anytime the apocalypse start, Yeah? Remember me tell you. So continue feel like say, we are plan for Jamaica. You never hear, your mother never tell you say, enter your dig hole for a person. Make sure dig one for yourself too. Dig two. Don't dig one. Cause every dog have them there.